you caress my body. You got me going crazy, yo. Turn me up, turn me up. Let me jam you, girl, with all around me. You got me going crazy, yo. Turn me up, turn me up.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to bring you another kind of holiday look, but this time I just wanted it to be a little bit easier. So I'm just starting off by priming my skin with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer just to fill in all the pores, and then I will go in with some colour corrector, and I'm just going to use the kind of pinky tones underneath my eyes to cancel out any blue tones, and I also do take it up on my lid as well, just because I have a couple of veins there that I want to get rid of. And then you will see me go in with the green shade just to cancel out any redness in my skin, and I'm just using a little brush today. I do normally use my fingers, but I don't know, I just felt like using a brush, and this Iconic London brush honestly blends it in so easily. So right now I'm just going to go with that green, like I said. Making sure that you do this in any areas where you have redness, like if you have any like pimples or anything like that, it honestly makes such a big difference underneath foundation. You just need to make sure that you blend it out properly underneath so that it's not too hard to cover. For foundation today I decided to go with my Makeup Forever HD Stick Foundation, which I haven't used in ages, and I'm just putting that onto the skin. And then I did decide that I wanted to use a brush today, just because with these kind of stick foundations I just find that a brush applies it way better. I don't know, something about the Beauty Blender just doesn't work for me, so I'm just going to use this Iconic London Evo brush, which is so easy to use, and it doesn't kind of soak up any of your product, which is great, so whatever you put on your skin actually stays there. So for brows, as per usual, I'm just using my Anastasia brow definer. Really do need to get a darker colour in this, but I'm using chocolate at the moment. Just combing up my brows with a spoolie, and then running the product through the brows. I don't go too heavy on this bit just because I'm going to go in with some darker powder afterwards just to match my hair. But remember, your brows are sisters, not twins, so don't worry if they're not exactly the same, just try and make them look as symmetrical as possible. And the powder that I go in with afterwards is just Americano from Makeup Geek. Honestly, like for your hairline and your brows and stuff, to deepen it up, you can just use an eyeshadow and it works just as well as a brow powder. For my eyes today, I'm using my Too Faced Grand Hotel Cafe palettes, and I'm going to use this light shade from the Gingerbread Cookie palette first, just to set the concealer on my eyes. Then I'm actually going to use this kind of bronzer colour as my transition shade, just because, I don't know, there are no rules, like I just like the colour and I thought it would look good in the crease. So I'm using it, and also like these palettes smell amazing, like it literally smells like gingerbread. Honestly, they're so pretty, I'm just obsessed. And then in that same palette, I'm just going to use the darker shade, I think it's called Maple Syrup, and I'm just going to run that on the outer corner of the eye and bringing it slightly into the crease as well, just to elongate the eye a bit. I'm just using a really light hand and building the product up slowly. I then added a bit of this iced coffee shade from the Eggnog Latte palette just to warm the outer corner a little bit, just placing it exactly where we put it before. And then for the star of the show on the lid is this shade called Ginger Snap. Honestly, it's even prettier in person. I did wet my brush before applying it because I think it just brings out the pigment a little bit more, but I just chucked this all over my lid and kind of blended it into the outer corner as well. But oh my god, it looks even better in person. I feel like the camera doesn't do it justice. And then I did just take some of the maple syrup shade again just to deepen up the outer edge again, because where you blend you lose a bit of the pigment. Now for those fellow people that struggle with eyeliner out there, I have a little trick for you using your makeup wipe to clean the outer portion of your eyeshadow. If you create like this kind of crisp line, it provides like the perfect stencil for your eyeliner. Obviously this look, you know, doesn't really need eyeliner, but I just personally really like the look of a wing, so try this out and I promise you it will be so much easier. For lashes, I just wanted something super dramatic, so I went for my favourite lily lashes in the style Mykonos. They're just super wispy and pretty easy to apply, but obviously if you have trouble with lashes, then you'd be totally fine just using mascara. Now it's just time to conceal my face using my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm just going to do it in all the high points of my face as per usual, and then obviously go and blend it out with a damp beauty sponge. I do prefer using a sponge for my concealer rather than a brush. It's just a personal preference, but you do whatever's easier for you. I just find this is like super quick, so around Christmas time obviously you don't want to be spending hours on your makeup. You just want to kind of get it done and it look as nice as possible, and this just creates a really seamless finish. Now you want to go in and make sure that you set that straight away to avoid any creasing. I'm just using my RCMA no colour powder, and I am just baking as well because I do tend to get oily during the day, and you know, CBA for touch-ups. Then I just set the rest of my face with a foundation powder. Mine is the Makeup Forever HD, but you can just use whatever you have to hand. Then it is my favourite time, and it's time to contour, and I'm just using the usual Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer because it's my favourite, and I'm just going to carve out the cheekbones, try and make myself look skinnier around this time where I'm eating too much. And then to deepen it up even more, I go in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and use a shade from there as well, just to kind of make myself look even skinnier. You know, I try. And they do say every little helps, so I'm going to go a step further and clean up the underneath of that contour using the same translucent powder and my beauty blender, and I'm just going to bake underneath there to give a nice kind of crisp line. Then of course just adding a little bit of nose contour, doing it super lightly. I just kind of feel a bit naked if I don't do it, but it's totally up to you if you want to do that on. If you are going to go in with a nose contour, just make sure that you use a super light hand and like not that much product. And then I'm just going to wipe away all of that bakage. And I will go away and wipe it away from the underneath of my cheeks as well, just having a little dance first. I don't leave it sitting there for very long. Now it's time to finish off the eyes, and I'm just taking the maple syrup shade and running it underneath my lash line, super close to the lash line with the little Zoeva brush. I always do this first just to kind of define it a little bit more, and then I'm going to go in with another shade just to kind of blend it out a little bit. Then lastly on the eyes, obviously you've got to do a little coat of mascara. I'm just using my Too Faced Better Than Sex, and then I use a nude eye pencil in the waterline just to kind of open my eyes a little bit more. Now for highlight today, I'm going to use this shade from my Iconic London Shimmer palette. These colours are honestly so nice, and I did end up actually mixing the yellow one with the one that I showed you on my big Morphe fan brush, and just putting that in all the areas. I mean, I applied quite a lot, I can't even lie, but I also applied it to like the tip of my nose and between my eyes and like on my top lip and kind of, I don't know, just all over the face. It just looks so nice and glowy. Then of course you can't forget blush, and I'm using the one that I'm obsessed with at the moment, and that is my Linen Low Mango Mineral Blush. And I'm just using a super light hand with this because it's so pigmented. Now of course in a classic holiday look you can't forget the red lip. That is like the Christmas makeup. So I'm just using my new MAC lip pencil in Ruby Woo, and I absolutely love when the pencils are new and they're just so sharp and so easy to use. But yeah, I'm just like lining the outside, and then I do fill it in as well just because I want to make sure that I've got it all even on each side. And then I do go in with my Anastasia liquid lipstick in the shade American Doll, which is my absolute favourite True Red. I think the Anastasia liquid lips along with Dose of Colours are my absolute favourites. They're not drying to the lips at all, and they last literally all day. And don't worry if you struggle applying liquid lipsticks, you can totally go ahead and just use any red lipstick that you have. Just make sure that you have it on the day so that you can reapply. Then after the lip, just apply your setting spray and you are good to go. So that is it for this look, you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this super classic holiday look. I did try to make it a bit easier, so if you did like the video, make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all that good stuff. Bye guys.